Dolphins fans, we are fast approaching 40,000 subscribers, need less than 300 more. And once we hit 40K, we are going to auction off a Xavier Howard jersey. Go down, subscribe to the channel right now. Dolphins fans, welcome in to Dolphins Today. I am Will Scott. Hope you are all having a great weekend. Of course, yesterday we learned of this shocking news that Byron Jones apparently just retired, announcing the news on Twitter, or at least appeared to retire. So let's show these tweets in graphic form now. Of course, I was home when the news broke yesterday, back in studio today. Byron Jones responded or quote tweeted an NFL tweet from the Combine 8 years ago showing a Combine highlight of Byron Jones doing the broad jump, and Jones quote tweeted saying this: "Much has changed in 8 years. Today I cannot run or jump because of my injury sustained playing this game. Do not, all caps, take the pills they give you. Do not, all caps, take the injections they give you. If you absolutely must, consult an outside doctor to learn the long-term implications." He then responded to that tweet saying this: "It was an honor and privilege to play in the National Football League, but it came at a regrettable cost I did not foresee. In my opinion, no amount of professional success or financial gain is worth avoidable chronic pain and disabilities. Godspeed to the draft class of 2023. Now, what stands out to me from that last tweet we just showed you is that Jones said it was an honor and privilege to play in the NFL, but it came at a regrettable cost. He didn't say it's been an honor and privilege, and it has come at a regrettable cost. It was in past tense, which kind of makes it sound like Byron Jones is retiring. However, Marcel Louis Jacques of ESPN said this: "Dolphins cornerback Byron Jones is not retiring, a source tells me." But he did offer words of caution to the 2023 draft class today. His first comments on his injury since undergoing Achilles surgery last March. Now, Barry Jackson said the same thing, that this tweet does not mean that Byron Jones is retiring. And I think Marcel and Barry do great work, and I think, I trust them with their report. But I also want to hear this from Byron Jones, because Byron did not delete those tweets yesterday. It's not like his agent called him and is like, yo, delete the tweets. No, that didn't happen. And Byron still has not tweeted anything that would suggest that he's not retiring since then. So we'll see. It's a situation to follow. I don't really know what's going to go down, but Byron's not going to be back with the Dolphins. He is expected to get cut if he does not retire. Now, a lot of you were on Twitter yesterday asking me, what does this mean about the Dolphins cap space situation? Him retiring is basically the same thing as him getting cut in terms of the cap. Now, the Dolphins probably would not process the retirement until after June 1st. So the savings, as we've discussed, would stay the same if he gets cut, $13.6 million. So if he retires, the Dolphins would save $13.6 million. If he gets cut post-June 1, they would save $13.6 million. The dead cap would also stay the same, because the dead cap kind of comes from signing bonuses and stuff like that, $4.75 million. So believe it or not, and the more I learn about the contract situation, it is a little bit surprising. There is no difference from a contract cap saving standpoint from him retiring and him getting cut. It stays the exact same. Now, will Byron Jones play again? Y for yes, in for no, down in the comment section. It is the pinned comment on today's video. So when you get hit with an ad break here in a few seconds, go down and chime in during the ad break. Y for yes, in for no. Will Byron Jones play again? He's not going to play again for the Dolphins, but I just hope he gets healthy and is able to play and have success somewhere else. And as I said yesterday in my video talking about the tweets, there's life after football, right? And I think that's something we have to remember. So even if he does not play football again, I just hope he gets healthy and is able to enjoy life after football. That's something important that I think a lot of people tend to forget. So Byron, wish you the best, man. Hopefully you get healthy and can enjoy whatever chapter's next, if that's playing in the NFL for a different team or after your playing days in retirement. Want to tell you about today's show sponsor, Cultivate, the free browser extension that brings transparency to your Amazon shopping experience. Cultivate shows you the brand, seller, or product origin and identifies local alternatives that support local community efforts while saving you money. With over 50% of Amazon U.S. sellers based in China, Cultivate offers a way to avoid trickery from these sellers and keep money in the U.S. economy. Cultivate offers alternatives that are on average 30% less expensive than Amazon without any additional costs such as Amazon Prime. It can even identify local alternatives that you can pick up the same day. Cultivate users earn free donations as rewards for using the extension. And the more you use it, the more you earn in donations by increasing your level. In fact, Cultivate donates 51% of the revenue they make on your purchase. That's pretty cool. So what are you waiting for? Go to wecultivate.us/chatsports and download Cultivate for free. Let Cultivate bring transparency, savings, and community support to your Amazon shopping experience. Support the show and download with our link. It's down in the comments section and the description of today's show. Find the best prices at wecultivate.us/chatsports. Again, that link is in the comments and the description of today's video. Taking a look now at the updated Dolphins cornerback depth chart. So I've taken Byron Jones off of this because he's either going to retire or he's either going to get cut. Nick Needham, if he comes back, could be CB2 with Cater being the nickel or vice versa. I think, both of those guys are more than capable of doing a solid job behind X as CB2. But you also have Justin Bethel as a free agent. So I think they'll probably bring Needham back. From what I've heard, Needham wants to continue to keep playing in Miami. And then Cater Coe, who certainly showed a lot of promise. But maybe they'll want to swing for the fences and bring in a big-name corner to replace Byron Jones. Tom Pelissero reporting this yesterday or maybe even the day before, saying the Rams have had trade talks about six-time Pro Bowl corner Jalen Ramsey. And league sources now believe it's very likely Ramsey is dealt in coming weeks. Ramsey, 28, is due $17 million in 2023 on a front-loaded deal. That averages $20 million, and LA is clearing cap space. So we talked about Jalen Ramsey a few days ago, but now there's this report that he is expected to get traded. The Rams are expected to be actively shopping him here in the coming weeks, and he's coming off a really good season, one of the best of his career-high 88 tackles, 4 picks, the third highest PFF grade amongst all corners with an 86.4 grade. And PFF, speaking of them, they had this article talking about bold trade predictions, and they believe that the Dolphins are a legit contender here for Jalen Ramsey and put together this trade idea, saying the Dolphins, in this trade idea, would get Jalen Ramsey and a fifth-round pick this year. The Rams would get the Dolphins' next 2 second-round picks, one this year, one next year. So very interesting that you can potentially acquire Jalen Ramsey without giving up a first-round pick. That's something that would probably intrigue Chris Grier and the Dolphins. And, of course, Chris Grier, as I've said time and time again, is a home run hitter. Whenever there is a name that comes up on the trade market that makes sense, he is certainly going to inquire. You saw that with Tyreek Hill last year and with Bradley Chubb at the deadline. Taking a look at some possible trade destinations, here are teams that have been linked to Jalen Ramsey. The Dolphins are the team that I have seen linked to Ramsey the most. The Lions probably a close second. Apparently a couple of their current players are already trying to recruit Ramsey to Detroit. The Bengals might make some sense, as well as Dallas and Minnesota. So those are some teams to monitor here when you're talking about a possible Jalen Ramsey trade. Now, do you want to trade for Jalen Ramsey? T for trade, P for pass, down in the comment section. Go down and let me know. I think he's a great player. I mean, we have a party here on the show if he was traded to Miami. But I think I'd rather sign a corner in free agency and keep the draft picks, right? Giving up 2 second-round picks, and I get it. You're not having to give up a first-round pick. But still, you're giving up your first pick in this year's draft in the second round. This is a loaded draft class at the running back position, loaded the tight end position. Those are 2 pretty big team needs for Miami. I think I'd rather take a running back, tight end, maybe offensive lineman in the second round and sign a corner, keep those draft picks that you currently have. But again, if the Dolphins were able to trade for Jalen Ramsey, that would be pretty exciting. Taking a look at his contract situation, his 2023 cap hit is a little north of $25 million. Trade savings for the Rams about $6 million pre-June 1st. That number goes up significantly post-June 1st. The new team would owe Jalen Ramsey 3 years, $55 million. So Ramsey is still under contract for the next 3 years, which is a good thing. You're not like you're trading for a guy that would be a free agent next year. However, apparently Jalen Ramsey wants a new contract. That's what Mike Florio is reporting, from any team that would trade for him. So you'd probably have to give him a Xavier Howard-like deal. Remember when you extended X last offseason? It would probably be a similar-looking deal to that, if not more. Here are some free agent corners. So if you don't trade for Ramsey, you can sign some of these guys without having to give up any draft picks. And the name that I'm looking out for is that guy, John Jones. I think John Jones is very underrated. I think he's really, really good, and you could steal him from Jack Lauderay's, producer Jack Lauderay's New England Patriots, a division rival. That'd be pretty sweet. Now, who would be a little bit cheaper maybe than John Jones is Greedy Williams. And I've been following Greedy for a long time. As some of you know, I follow the LSU football program pretty closely. He played at LSU, was really good for the Tigers, and has been really good in the NFL, and would fit the CB2 type, right? If you get a guy like Ramsey, you'd have two CB1s, which is great. Greedy Williams more of a CB2, but he would be really, really solid. So those are some free agent corners to watch out for. I expect Chris Greer to address that need pretty early on in free agency, which begins in a couple weeks, which is why you should subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications, because you're going to get an alert on your phone whenever we go live, whenever we put out a video. It's the best way to stay in the loop with the Fins.